Well, color me shocked. It happened to the WNBA again. Another day, another WNBA player slammed to the floor by another WNBA player, by another WNBA big name player. I don't know what it is about this league and just shoving other people to the floor. They love doing it for some reason. This time it was, of all people, Asia Wilson. I'm going to try to keep the hate to a minimum because I really, really don't like her. She was playing the Minnesota Lynx, getting cooked. They're not having a good year. They had Kelsey Plum. Now they don't. Kelsey's over in L.A. losing a lot and playing uninspired ball, except when she plays the Fever. Then she's actually playing, trying hard and showing a lot of pride and effort. I guess like she always did with the Aces. But without Kelsey Plum, the Aces, including Asia Wilson, are lost, and they're not playing very well this year. And Kayla McBride on the Lynx, who were, if I didn't mention yet, cooking the Aces, who were below 500. Even though I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got 4 people on the team that were on the U.S. Olympic team. I mean, damn. What else do you need, Asia? Good Lord. I'm starting to think she's really not all that good, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously she's good, but I mean, she's not as good as they say she is by any means. But, and they didn't even call it a foul. But basically, I guess Kayla McBride was setting a screen, and Asia Wilson just put both of her hands on the top part of her chest, Kayla McBride's chest, and just shoved her straight down to the floor. It wasn't an outward shove; it was straight down. And thank God it was for that. For Nafisha Collier's sake, she was shooting the ball right behind her, and if she been shoved more outwards, had Kayla McBride been shoved more outwards, she would have been shoved into a leaping or trying to do a jump shot in the air. Nafisha Collier's legs, and she probably would have tore something, honestly. But instead, she just slammed her straight to the floor. It looked like her head almost bounced off the they don't call it the hardwood for nothing. I don't know if her head hit or not, but it happens every week with this team, and it's just Asia. That's one of the things I noticed when I started watching the WNBA for the first time last year. People were talking about the Asia whistle. By the way, and the reason I say that is because she was not called for a flagrant or a technical, or she was not thrown out of the game. It was just called a regular foul. It's just accepted in the WNBA, and they wonder why nobody takes this product seriously. They want to get paid more money for what? It doesn't take skill. We tune in to watch skill, and if you're gonna just, instead of just trying to fight through a screen or go around it or go under it or whatever, if you're just going to shove the person to the ground to intimidate them for the future, that's not skill. And that's one of the knocks the WNBA gets. People say, what's Caitlin Clark's appeal? Is it because she's white and straight? Well, no, they've had lots of white and straight people before. They've been all-stars, and they didn't move the needle. Is it because she, launches all those three-pointers? Well, Sabrina Ionescu shoots a lot of three-pointers. She was in the NBA three-point contest, or had a little contest in All-Star Weekend against Steph Curry. She didn't move the needle. It's because Caitlin Clark has a skill level. She can shoot, she can dribble, she can pass. She doesn't look clunky and uncoordinated doing it. Everybody else in the league just about looks very, very uncoordinated, like the baby giraffe. And that's why she's so popular. And of course, Asia Wilson says it's because of race. Well, that's the problem. Asia's just been given so much. She's good, and they treat her like she's this goddess, and she's not. She's good, but she's not. She's not what they say she is. She already has a statue built to her. Now, granted, it's at the University of South Carolina. I mean, their bar for what constitutes being good enough to have a statue built to you is a lot lower than most universities. If the University of South Carolina was like the real Carolina, it'd been North Carolina and Chapel Hill. If they had people like Michael Jordan and Big Game James and Vince Carter, they would they built 90-foot golden idols to them and worship them every day. So if they had football players that could do what a lot of the Clemson players across state have done over the past few years and winning championships and making it to the playoffs almost every year, they'd really be building a lot of statues. But since it's the University of South Carolina, it's a lot less. But either way, I mean, she wins a women's national title, and she gets a statue built to her. I mean, It's just like she lives in this bubble where she's this amazing person, and then she goes outside the bubble and she doesn't understand why everybody else isn't kissing her ass. And that's why. She's not likable at all. She's extremely delusional about who she is. And like I said, she's good, but I mean, she's not. I mean, I don't think she's, like the clear cream of the crop good. She's very reliant on the whistle. She's very reliant on having a lot of great teammates around her, and I just don't see it. So, but it's more of this WNBA prison yard thug ball. That's all it is. That's one thing I started calling it. I noticed with the Sun games the way J.C. Sheldon guarded Caitlin Clark. J.C. Sheldon played what I called prison yard thug ball. Just no skill, just bumping them, hand checking her. Just like I said, there's no skill needed for that. You just run up and bump into them and bump into them. And you had Nneka Ogumile, can't pronounce her last name, of Seattle, the president of the Players Association, who's asking for all this money. Just grab this white girl and throws her to the ground and stands up and yells at her afterwards. It's common foul. And Asia does this thing, just shoves the lady right to the ground. Marina Mayberry just knocked Caitlin Clark right to the ground. Kennedy Carter knocked Caitlin Clark right to the ground. I don't know what it is with this league and just knocking people over that they love. It's not basketball. There's no skill in that. When we want to see that, we tune into professional wrestling, which we don't do very much anymore, judging by the ratings. I haven't in a long, long time, but I mean, it's just. We're here to see sport. We're here to see skill. Even football and hockey, I know there's a lot of contact, but there's still a lot of skill needed. And the kind of fouls that these WNBA players are committing, if they did that in the NFL, that's a 15-yard penalty and, possibly a suspension. And that's one thing I wonder, does the WNBA not have a group of people that goes back and looks at these and tries to make a decision on whether or not further action is needed? Like every other sports league out there that goes back and looks over stuff that sometimes might get missed in the game. Even Michael Jordan one year, I think it was 93, he, got Reggie Miller gave a little chicken shit shove to him, and Michael flipped out, went after him, got in his face, and punched him. And I guess the refs missed it. They caught Reggie trying to punch him back and missing badly. And they threw Reggie out of the game, but they didn't throw Michael Jordan out of the game, causing this was at Indianapolis at the old Market Square Arena, and caused their announcers to go nuts over the unfairness of it. And they actually went back and suspended Michael. And it's just one of those things where it's like, if Michael Jordan's not above it, what makes them think that Nneka Ogumile or Asia Wilson's above this? These people don't draw money. These people don't draw people in. They drive people away. And I don't get it. They want this attention. They want all this money, but they don't want to do the stuff necessary to get it. Being engaging, being, having a league that's worth watching. I don't get it. I don't know what they cannot be that delusional, surely. I mean, I know the WNBA's socialism. They've been kept on welfare forever and kept afloat and basically allowed to do whatever the hell they want, but they have to know that, they're a running joke, that, people have never tuned into them until Caitlin Clark showed up, a skilled player with, very coordinated and doesn't look out of place on a basketball court. I mean, and what does the WNBA want? Do they want to be taken seriously? Do they want to be looked at as a serious league, or do they want to just be this prison yard thug ball crap where people like J.C. Sheldon can be a starter? People like Asia Wilson are like the cream of the crop, like the greatest of the great of the current players, supposedly. And I mean, do you really want that to be your league? I mean, how long do you think people are going to tune in for that? I mean, have you not seen the Aces ratings when they're not playing Caitlin Clark? People are not tuning in to see Asia. I don't know. She's got this Nike commercial now. She's got her own shoe with a logo nobody understands, and I don't know if it's selling anything or not, but wait till Caitlin Clark has her shoe and blows that out of the water. They gave her own little signature colored, Indiana Fever colored Kobe's and blew anything Asia's done out of the water. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, at some point they gotta, realize 2020 has ended. National sanity has been restored. This is not racism. This is not homophobia. They do not have a compelling product at all. And this stuff, this prison yard Thugball stuff, just is not going to make it any better. So I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Somebody's got to step up at some point because they're going to wind up paying these players a whole lot of money. They're going to run Caitlin Clark off for good, if not physically, then emotionally and physically. And they're going to be right back to losing a lot of money and having to pay their players a boatload of money to lose money. So I don't get it, man. The WNBA, their existence is a slap in the face to all of us Americans that have to work. I just got home from a 12-hour shift. I need that 12-hour shift so I can have money to keep this roof over my head. They don't have to worry about that. They're going to be on welfare from the NBA, even though they don't make money. If the company I'm working for doesn't make money, they quit. They fold. They go out of business. They shut down the center. And I'm looking for a job so I can get a paycheck and keep this roof over my head. So, I don't get it, man. It's been a very, very frustrating season. I'm really trying to watch this. I want to see Caitlin Clark do well, and I want to, pay attention to the league too. And they are not giving me anything to pay attention to. Caitlin's been hurt, and all this league has done is embarrass itself over and over again. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and talk to you guys later.